So brand community. Okay, so what is brand community? Right, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Let me introduce myself real quick. We've been together the whole week, but I think I haven't presented myself, so I'm gonna do it really quick. I'm Rodrigo Caballero. I'm from Lima, Peru. We're actually celebrating our 200 years of independence. We did it yesterday, but today the celebration continues. So I have a BA in communications with an AV specialization, which means audiovisual. It stands for audiovisual. So anything related to movies, TV, radio, anything that you can imagine related to that. That's what I study. I studied at the university. I have an art direction specialization. I'm also, by the end of next month, starting a master's in digital marketing and e-commerce. So I'm very excited about that. I'm 26 years old. And well, my experience, what I have worked on, I actually was really lucky to produce a video clip for a local rock band. It was really cool. I also worked as an art director for a web series that my friends from college came up with, and they decided to produce it. And well, I worked for them and with them as an art director. It was really cool, actually, being able to choose from the setting and the decoration and the clothing, everything. It was really cool. Last year, I worked as a film PA, which stands for production assistant. Actually, I was the field production assistant. So my main job was to get and organize every single set and location to film the movie. So that was really cool too, being behind the scenes. And well, now I work as a branding and PR team leader for Utel, for the international part of Utel. Actually, I do all that has to do with branding and PR for the United States, and I also supervise and work along with the people in charge of Chile and Argentina. So it's really cool. It's an awesome mixture of different countries and cultures. So that is amazing. So let's start. So we don't run out of time. We already have 23 minutes left. So what is brand community, basically? If you want to think about brand community, you want to think about the sense of belonging. Okay, so the brand loyalty is defined by a sense of belonging to your consumers. Remember, we saw and talked about this with Alicia a couple of days ago about finding your ideal customer or client. So when you create brand community, you are creating some sort of loyalty. So the client feels like they belong to this community that you create. So as you can see, you don't have to confuse it or mistake it as brand awareness. Okay, that's not the same. So just because someone knows about or has purchased from your brand, it doesn't mean they are part of an engaged or even an engageable brand community. Okay, so your brand community is the people who follows all of your content on social media or any platform where you decide to share and sell your product. And it's the people in the community who shares, follow, react, and enjoy to your content that they shared with your product or your service with their friends, with some other people. If you use Instagram, you can share it through your Instagram stories. So it's that kind of people who enjoy seeing and sharing everything your brand does or produces, basically. So again, if we want to talk about examples, I have three cool examples. I would love to know how many of you know about these brands. So if you want to use thumbs up, if you know these brands, would be great. So if you don't want to go to the chat, you can just put some thumbs up to show and share if you are if you know any of these brands. If you know, the question, Angela, is if you know any of these brands, such as Lego, PlayStation, Apple. So I see some people do know about them. So that's great. Yes, you know, and you know them all. Awesome, Angela. So for example, these are examples of brands that create a brand community. For example, Lego. Their customers, they love to have a say in the development of their products and all the products that they enjoy. So the Lego ideas community have or give is it's customer that powers. Okay, so it's basically they give the power to the customers. So by allowing members to submit their product ideas and launching different contests, creative fans have the chance to choose what they want to see on the shelves next on their stores. So Lego has managed to create a really cool community that drive the product ideas. All right. So by giving them the power of choosing what to see on the shelves or any prototypes or ideas of new things to made with Legos. So that's what Lego does and give to their give that power to their customers. For example, PlayStation is also a huge community. And for example, the success of the community hinges on the way it rewards its more valuable members with recognitions and provides a space to share tips and schedule online and play and they create play sessions. So the way they enhance their community, it's really cool because they create these sort of sessions and spaces where they can share, because you know gamers and people who likes to use these devices, and not only PlayStation but Xbox, Wii, which I don't know if it's still a thing. It was a huge thing when I was younger, or Nintendo. They have a huge community, and it's people who love to share their experiences with their games and all that sort of stuff. So PlayStations create these kind of spaces so they can share that. And finally, Apple, as we know, Apple is a huge brand, and actually the Apple support communities, it boosts customers' success by offering a space for feedback, self-service support, and knowledge sharing across one of the most active fan communities in the world, actually. It fuels engagement with user-generated content and uses gamification to reward and encourage constructive participation. So what they basically do is also have a reward program and be aware of who are the loyal customers and how to keep engaged that community. So if we keep moving on, all right, so why should you build a brand community? All right, so first of all, your brand community already exists. Okay, they are already out there on social media. So it's basically your job. And we have had, with the all information that has been given to you throughout the days, you should know that your community already exists out there on social media or on the platform that you want to start selling or developing. So it's your job, again, to find this community, connect with them directly, and build a strategy for individuals within the community. So you can interact with them and generate this interaction amongst each other. All right, so then you have to connect and build a strategy, for them to interact. Right, so imagine that you have a group of people, for example, who regularly use your product or your service, and you can actually regularly reach out to them. So with this group, creating these sort of groups, give me a second. Okay. By creating these groups, you can actually test new products, new mockups, ask about features, releases, share blog content, all content general, and actually collect all the general feedback for improvement, which is the next point. You can collect general feedback for improvement. You can actually use them once you have them engaged to have feedback and or test new products, as I said, or new ideas, and you don't know if they're going to be good, they're going to like it, then this community that you have should help you with that. Well, finally, as I said, connect and build a strategy for them to interact. Your community can actually help you a lot to help your brand to make customer-driven decisions and spread the word about your business, which is the famous B2B. You know, that you don't need to do anything, basically, and when you get to a point, and not to do anything, but you leave it to your customer. Once you have enhanced them and engaged them, they are going to start talking about it with other people. So, which happens with Apple, for example. They have a huge marketing strategy and the way they put out their products and make people know about them. Still, maybe you have never seen an ad from Apple, but you have heard from some other people talking about Apple. So that's the idea when you create a brand community. So for example, what do we do in Utel? If we want to be practical and if we want to know, for example, what do we do from the branding area department? For example, we have different events since we are part of the educational field. What we do is we create these sort of spaces and events. So we have events such as Discovery Days, sesiones online, which are like online sessions. We also have Utel talks, and we also have a blog. So what we do here is create these knowledge spaces where people gathered and they share their experience. And we usually have a speaker or someone who knows a lot about what we are talking about a certain subject, and they share their knowledge with a bunch of community. We have got to a point where actually the community that we have goes beyond us, and they actually create by themselves small WhatsApp chats or Telegram chats, you know, where they share with each other the different events that we create and that we do. And how do we communicate them? So the main one is mailing, basically, since is an institutional and educational field. Usually mailing is more of a proper way to communicate. And well, also we share it on our social media, such as LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, since each country has its own community. And well, also through phone, because since we offer also products and we offer products to study, basically, we have a specific area that communicates with people who are interested. So they call them, and while they offer the product, they also let them know that we have this sort of events. So that's how we create a bigger audience and a bigger community at the end of the day. So I'm gonna share with you my through the chat. So just hold on a second. I'm gonna stop sharing with you, and I'm gonna leave here a link. So if you go straight there, there is a question for you. So if you can go there and help me by filling it out, I know it goes straight to a page that says, how often do you use this app? I'm going to share it with you real quick. So there you go. So how often do you use these sort of apps, such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or others? So there we go. We're starting to share. So one person so far. So I would love to see if you keep answering. Thank you very much. So it's a way to measure. And this can help you too if, for example, your buyer persona or the people that you want to get or reach out, it's around our ages. So, okay, there we go. We have 5% so far. So let's see if it keeps growing. So far, Instagram is the most used or the highly used app, followed by others. So if you put others, I would love you to leave it on the chat and share with me what is the other sort of app that you use. And then we have Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. All right, so that's good to know. Someone says Snapchat, said Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. Okay, cool. So I'm guessing Snapchat is also, so here Instagram is the biggest one, the most used. So that's awesome, that's great to know. Thank you very much. So if we keep moving on, I'm gonna tell you then why we did this. So, but it's good to know, good to have that information. But now let's talk about how to build a successful brand community. Okay, so these are 4 points that I'm gonna go through really quick. So one is define your brand. The other one is define your brand goals and metrics. Then choose a community platform. And finally, seek engagement within your community. So by defining what is your brand, you actually have to ask yourself what isn't your brand also. That is a great way to help yourself to not get confused on the way. So that involves your mission, your company vision, your brand voice and personality that we saw with Oscar, I'm pretty sure a couple of days ago. And so basically, what is your brand trying to do? Who's it trying to help? And all these sort of questions that you see here. That way it's gonna help you as the CEO of your company, basically, to know what do you actually want to do and what do you don't want to do. That also helps a lot. When you define also your brand goals and metrics, you should ask yourself a lot of questions before creating a brand community, such as ultimately, what is the purpose behind the community that you want to create? What are you doing for your community members to stay engaged? How are you measuring success of your brand? We're gonna get there soon. And this list of questions. Then choose a community platform. As I said, it can be social media, it can be forums, it could be reward programs, it can be third-party community platforms. I'm gonna show you something about that real quick, but as a quick example, we just saw what kind of, what are the apps that you use the most. So for example, if you wanna go on social media and your buyer persona age is around 14, 16, 17, which is the range of ages of you guys here today, then you could probably go to Instagram since it has been the highly used platform. If you want to do a forum, then you can create a blog or go to Reddit probably, or some of these sort of webs and pages. If you want to create a reward program, for example, Starbucks, they have a huge reward program, but that is like finally like the ultimate goal maybe to get there, to have a platform especially for reward programs. For example, a quick example of reward programs. I don't know if you guys heard about this. I love these Funko Pops, this sort of, I think I have one here. Yeah, I have one right here. This sort of like big-headed sort of toys that you collect. So there are different webs and groups and pages where you can buy them. They have reward programs. So by each pop that you buy, you get extra points, you get points, so you can change them and you can use them to buy later and pay less, for example. So that's a great way to create a sort of reward program. And third-party community platforms, we're gonna get there right now. And finally, another tip to build a brand community is to seed engagement within your community, which means that you have to keep building your community one person at a time. So it's natural if at the beginning you don't get to engage that much. So each day and by the time you have to go one by one. So eventually they will begin to flow really naturally once you have reached a certain point. But it takes time. It really takes time. So the key here is patience and perseverance, basically. So for example, here are the 2 examples that I was talking about. these are two brands that I found, and I'm gonna share again my screen. But these are two brands that I found. One is Feel Your Soul, and the other one is Art by Elaine. So Feel Your Soul are basically, they started selling Converse insoles, which are like, let me take my shoes and show you if I can pull it. It's like what goes inside the shoe, because I don't know if you guys have used or used to use Converse, but sometimes they get, or they are a little bit uncomfortable. And that's, I'm a fan of Converse. I have a couple, but sometimes they are a little bit uncomfortable. So what we do here, for example, how I found them, how I heard about them, through TikTok, actually. So I don't know if you guys can hear.
Business idea while working at Trader Joe's. So I absolutely love Converse, and my coworkers and I love wearing them to Trader Joe's and to our favorite concerts, but never found them to be super comfy. So I invented these footsoles to make your Converse super comfy and put the words "Feel Your Soul" on the bottom of them, so that every day when you wake up in the morning and put your Converse on, you can.
So they actually have like a huge community on TikTok, and they grew and keep growing. It's showing you right now, but they have a bunch of videos, and what they basically do is share about their products. That's all they do, but they do it in such a cool way that they get to their community, because they know who their community are and how old are they and what they like to hear and see. So here's all their ideas, how they package and how they ship their products. They had actually a small, they did a video of how they were surprising their followers with sunflowers. So it's about engaging, basically. And well, they have their website as well, where they sell. At this point, they're not only selling like the shoes insoles, but they're also selling sweatshirts and shoes, roller skates. And the other one that I was talking about was Art by Elaine. I also get to her through TikTok. I found her one day, and what she do is actually she sells these printables, and she made all of these by herself. Actually, she's a graphic designer, so she sells printables, she sells stickers, and her designs are about different places from the States. So she also sells them as printables or t-shirts and this sort of stuff. And Etsy, it's a great, as I was showing you before, it's a great third-party community platform. Etsy, you're gonna find a bunch of different places, businesses, small businesses that share about their products. So it's a really cool platform. And what she does also, she has a YouTube channel where she shares what she does. So she teaches you how to use Procreate and how are the process, Q&A, and she also actually shares what she already knows, which helps her to get a bigger community and get to a bigger community. So to go really quick, so we can sum this up and be finishing, how do we know how do we know if our project is sustainable? These are three key words. Basically, the sustainability is the ability for your organization to continue the mission or program far into the future. Okay, so you can keep it longer. So first, you have to have a sustainable community, which is how the community carries out the project activities. For example, I was telling you about the Feel Your Soul. For example, their financing is strategy was to sell this cereal with the Cherry Joes and the Lucky Trumps so to get money, to fundraise money, and be able to create these roller skates that you attach to your shoes. So that was, and the community helped a lot. So that lead us to the financial sustainability, which is how the financial support required for the project or the organization will continue after the grant has ended, after your first project or your first marketing strategy has ended. Okay, and finally, the organization is key, because the organizational sustainability is how the company, your project continues to function after the project, or after you have created your first marketing strategy, your first product. You don't want to get stuck there. So it's also recommendable, if it's just you who runs it, then you have to try to keep creative, try to get feedback all the time. If it's more than one person, always be on the same page. Communication is key all the time. So organizational sustainability is always the most important, because from that, you're gonna be able to create strategies to have a sustainable, a financial sustainability, and also a community sustainability. So really quick, some elements that we have are these. So I sum up so we can have Oscar now. But some are the vision, the results that we're going to see with Oscar, because what we see here, what results means is that you have to measure how your campaign goes. And that's what we're going to see with the analytics with Oscar really quick in a second. Also, the strategic financing and stewardship that we just talked about, the adaptability that I was telling you about, and we're gonna see examples right now real quick. Also, the community support that we've been talking about, champions, which are basically you identify and develop champions who can assist your organizations in gaining the recognition and resources needed to achieve short and long-term goals. Also, well, the internal system, which you have to identify and hire strong leadership, staff, and volunteers to develop the communication system, processes, and risk management plan. And finally, a sustainability plan, which you do by developing a written document that includes each of the elements of sustainability and establish a plan of action, basically, that you have to prioritize by the time. So if we go again back to the Feel Your Soul startup, when as a startup, they started just selling these shoes insoles, they wanted to adapt because they knew they were not going to be able to sell these all the time. People at some point gets tired of seeing the same product. So what they did, they tried to adapt. And they wanted to create this attachment that I was talking to you about, the roller skates for your sneakers, but they didn't have the money. So what they did, they created the Smile Fund, which was a way to also reward the community, but at the same time, having this startup, this idea of a fund, it helped them to engage more people, which led to create this financial strategy that was I told you, the Lucky Trumps and the Cherry Joes. And with what they made out of it, they were able to start selling and made these roller skates. So you see there, it's a whole chain of actions, basically. When we talk about community support, I was showing you the video, telling you about this video. They have to enhance and they have to engage their community. And they did it by giving sunflowers, which sounds cheesy or sounds even, I don't know, sort of obvious, or you think, oh, that's ridiculous, but that's great because you show a more human face of your brand. And finally, when I was talking about champions, it could be someone who is known, or you can be your own champion. For example, in their case, they are their own champions and they are the own face of their company. And they are the ones who engage also people and create their content, and they sell them by themselves their products. So basically you can do all of this. That's it for me so far and until now. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can go to the forum and ask. I'm going to be really happy to answer and be there with you and share anything you need. It was great for me to share this with you. And well, now I want to go back to Oscar because he's here already. I took 5 minutes of his time, of his precious time. So Oscar, they're all yours.
Hi guys, thank you so much, Rod. It's been a very interesting session. I just learned a lot. I was just hearing you and I was taking notes. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm really content. But I'm really content because I'm seeing basically the same people that were joining us the last seasons. I have Angela here, Sarah, that I remember her, Cass, Calvin, Andrea, Allison. Hi guys. How's your day? Thank you so much. Today, I'm gonna talk about something that it's really passionate about. I'm really, really feeling so good to share this knowledge with you guys because I know that we've been hearing a lot of topics about marketing, about digital marketing. We talk about the brand creation, the last session that you were guys with me. We talk about social media, the different platforms, how to create or understanding the difference between brand or branding, segmentation with Alicia. I know and I bet that we hear a lot basically, but I want to ask you guys a very, very, very interesting question. Maybe it's not a question. I just want to share with you guys a secret. In the digital marketing world, basically everything has to be measurable. If in your business or in your project, you're not taking analysis, you're not seeing numbers, it doesn't work. In the digital marketing world, everything has to be measurable. If it's not measurable, it doesn't work. That easy. It doesn't work. Every single step, every action that you take has to be measurable. We have to see numbers, we have to see metrics, we have to see trends, we have to see everything so our business can be successful, or in this case, our project. Okay, so let's get started. I don't know if anybody of you maybe have heard about Google Analytics. That's the question of the day. Have anybody of you guys have heard someday Google Analytics? We all know Google, right? We all know Google. But have you heard Google Analytics? I'm gonna be reading the chat. Hi, Sarah. Ella says no. Has anybody else heard analytics? Google Analytics. Sarah says no. Who else? Andrea, okay. Nobody. Sarah says that she's heard about Google Analytics, but she doesn't understand it. We're gonna understand it in a few minutes ago. Calvin says no. Perfect. Don't worry, guys, because today we are going to learn the importance of Google Analytics. And actually, we're gonna talk, or we're just gonna be going through a walk. It's just a basic review of Google Analytics. It's a very robust platform, maybe with information that is really complain or maybe some difficult. But I'm just gonna try to explain you guys the basic things that you guys have to understand about Google Analytics, how you guys are gonna read your numbers, and how you guys are gonna read basically your pages, your traffic pages, how many transactions, because we can measure traffic to any website. If you have a website, if you have a landing page, but also guess what? You can also measure your organic efforts on social media. On social media, if you have, obviously you have to have like this connection between Google Analytics and your landing page or your website, so you can have those numbers. Okay, so let's get started. Right now, you guys, I'm actually going to, well, this is Google Analytics. This is the platform. Right now, I'm going to the general overview. I want you guys to put very, very attention to these numbers. What is Google Analytics doing right now? Google Analytics is reading, it's giving me the information that is happening right now on my website. If you guys can see this section, I'm standing on www.utel.edu.mx. That's my account, that's my website. I'm actually taking the example of Utel. So you guys are gonna see right now in real time, you're gonna see how many is traffic and if it's in the website right now, what is doing the users, basically everything. So let me, okay, right here. You guys can see like in real time, we have this column right here that says active users right now. In my website right now, there's 250 viewers. We can see that this is per minute, okay? And in this side, it's 213. That's a good number right now. Right now, I don't know what you guys the time that you have right now, but it's happening actually now. Down here, if we scroll a little bit down, we can see the pages or the sections that are in my website right now. We can see that there are in contacto point Utel, that that's a section on my site web. If I scroll up a little bit more down, we can see basically, oh, something very, very, very important. This is the general overview, okay? So we're gonna see like general information here. We can see right here, the traffic channel. I'm setting the day between, or I'm setting all July. Right now, the numbers and the information that's gonna give us analytics, it's all the month of July to the 1st of July to what is 28th of July. We're gonna see actually all the month. Down here in this little graphic, guys, I can see that in the day of 22 of July, we have here the paid search, the organic search, we have social, we have display, and we have other, okay? We can see right here that in this day specifically, if I click here, I must have the number, I can see that the most traffic that I had was on paid search, then organic search, then social, then display, and then other. Okay, that's like the order basically that is giving me analytics. Let me scroll a little bit down so we can see right here. We can see how many active users trending over time. We can see here how well do you retain users. What else do we have? We can see where they are basically. This is really, we're gonna see this point more specific in these options, but we can also see my users in what country they are. Google Analytics tells me that they're more from Mexico, then this Colombia, Peru, and this is a very important site, guys. Check it out. We have a 69.4% coming out from mobile. Then we have a 29.5% coming out from desktop, and just 1% from tablet. Google Analytics can also tell us where are my users basically landing in my page. If they're landing, if they're seeing me in their mobile, in their cell phones, if they're using a desktop or from a tablet, basically, okay? So I'm gonna go a little bit up right now. If you guys see this section, it calls reports. There's one that says real time, we have audience, we have acquisition, and we have behavior and conversions. Basically, one of the things that right here in marketing in Utel, but the most that we use is the audience, acquisition, and behavior. Okay, so I'm gonna go up, down to up. So let's check out behavior. I'm gonna see the overview. I just want to explain, sorry guys, I want you to explain just a little bit what's the difference between those three. The audience is basically who is seeing my website. Our acquisition is how are they getting to my website. And on behavior, it's what of my viewers doing, basically. So let's check out behavior. I'm gonna go to the overview. Let's see what we have here. Okay, now guys, I'm setting the date. I was telling you guys, I am setting the 1st of July and 28th of July. It's basically all the months. So these are real numbers that are happening on my landing or my website of Utel right now. So we have like this little graphic. No, we can see here from day where did I had the most traffic in my landing or in my website. If I scroll a little bit down, we can see that Google Analytics is giving us the pages where my users are. We can see that there's a section that is called display, the other one that is called display Google, This is actually a landing page. We can see in the first place, we have Utel Licenciaturas. That's the name in Spanish, but in English, we know them like bachelor degrees. This is Utel website in general. And basically they gives us like the 10 most popular pages where my users are, basically. If we go to site content, there's a part right here that's called site content. If I click on all pages, basically I can have another view. Remember, I'm setting the date of all the month of July. There's a little graphic here that can tell us how is the behavior of that traffic. And down here, guys, again, Google Analytics is giving you the exactly page again, online display. We have another section on my website, and there's another one that's from Ecuador. We have, again, that people are seeing bachelor degrees in Utel. And I just want to explain very, very fast to you guys this part. In page views, check out the number. In the first place, we have 158,025 views per page. That's a really high number, no, actually. Then on the other side, we have unique page views. Basically on this side, what Google Analytics is doing, for example, if I'm in my mobile and I .utel and I just go in, but I'm looking at 3 different pages, Analytics is basically gonna take that number, okay? That's a really interesting part. And in here, we have the bounce rate that you guys actually want to know the meaning of this. The bounce rate, what I understand is that when people get on or lands to your website or lands to your landing page, they just cruise a little bit and they go, and they're gone. Basically, they can take like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, I don't know, but they're actually getting in the page and then they're gone. That's the bounce rate. In the first place, where I have the 158,000 of views, I have a 5% of bounce rate. It's not that high, but what we actually need is a really low percentage, basically. Okay, let's check out, for example, I think on landing page, we can see another information. I don't know. Okay, that's the same thing. Up here, you guys, we have the behavior flow. Let's click on behavior flow and check this out. On behavior flow, Google Analytics, what it's giving us is like a map, basically a whole map of what is my user doing on my website. And it's for steps, basically. Right now, they're standing on my website, and then I can see, okay, I can see it now. They are landing right here on my website, and then they're going to another section, and then they're going to another section. And this is basically the map that you guys can basically look of what is happening on your website. This is really awesome because you can see basically all the journey that is, or all the journey that the user is taking on your website. And you can take actions before that. You can see, okay, if they're looking basically on my degree or my bachelor degrees section, that means that many people are interested in that section, and I can take actions. I can take actions on my social media. I can actually post more about my offers, education, or I can even do a lot more bigger the section that I have on my website about the offerings. I can put maybe a Google form, a WhatsApp, something that they can contact me or something like that. So basically on this behavior flow, what we can see is the map of what is happening, basically step by step. If I go to site content, that is, I thought set content, we already have it. Okay. We already see the site content. Okay. Let's go to acquisition. That's my favorite part too of Google Analytics. Let's go to acquisition, guys. Let's go to an overview again. Okay, guys, this is really interesting. Check it out. In the overview, we can see that in the top channels, the top channels that Google Analytics gives us is that the more traffic in my website comes from organic search. What is organic search is that definitely I'm gonna go to Google and I'm gonna put Utel University. Then it's the pay search, then another display, the social of all the social networks that we have right now, direct, refer, I think that is from another page. You can just stay in one page and I think that you go to the other one. And for email, from all the strategy that we go for email too. If I scroll up a little bit down, we can see, guys, the organic search, and basically on the number of users, we can see that right here is 261,295 users in the organic search. Then we can see pay search and other, we can see display, we can see social, and we can see direct. Basically, all the points that we saw in the overview, in the general overview. We have the users, we have new users, we have the sessions, and we have the bounce rate. Remember what's the bounce rate? When people are landing to your website and they just scroll just a second and they're gone. That's the bounce rate. And the transactions. In the transactions, and I hope I have time, I want to explain you guys, because this is the way you guys are gonna measure your efforts on social media, specifically on your posts. Let's go to all traffic. I'm gonna click on channels. Check it out, guys. We have like another spot. We see again, organic search, pay search, display, but let's click on social. We can go even more deeper. Let's click on social and check it out, guys. I can see that the most traffic that I have in my website is coming out from Facebook. On the second place is Instagram. Then we have YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all of these. Instagram stories, Pinterest. And this one is called Notepad. I don't really know what to refer, but the most important, the most traffic in social is Facebook. Then we go to Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. That's my top. That's the top of Utel. But basically on channels, you can see the same. The users, the new users, the sessions. What's the sessions? It's basically how many times if I'm opening that, that window. If I'm looking for bachelor degrees in Utel and I close the window and I open it again, that's called a session. The bounce rate and the transactions, I think that the most important information are this and the page sessions, basically. That's what we can see in acquisition. And in a moment, I'm gonna explain you guys how we're gonna see the efforts that we have on social media. Let's go to audience. Let's take a look to the overview. Okay, again, I'm setting the date of all the month of July. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's not the overview that I want to share you. I want to share the audience. Guys, we can even see demographic information that Google Analytics is providing us. Let's check it out. We can see gender, we can see ages, we can see everything technically. Let's go to the overview of demographics. Sorry
to interrupt. Sarah was commenting that she found a pattern that actually, like in the graphics, that it is really low on Sundays compared to the rest of the days.
Totally, Sarah. And imagine if Google Analytics is giving you that information, you have to take decisions. You have to take action specifically in that days. What are you gonna do to get a higher traffic on your website or on your landing? We can talk about a little bit more specific in that point. Check out this, guys. Look, I am I'm in the side of demographics. I'm seeing the overview or the general overview. Right here, I can see the ages of my users, of the traffic that I'm sending to my website. I can see basically that the most that I have is from 18 to 24. Then I can see that there's from 25 to 34, 35, and 44. And you can see basically the ages. In the gender, I can see that the most people that I have is 168.2% coming on from males, and the other one that is 31.8% coming on for females. Let me click on gender if I have like more information here. I better have more information. Okay, I have the graphics. Actually, Google Analytics can tell me, and if I have, how do you call it, spikes, the spikes in the day, if how many males are there traveling, how many females. Basically, Google Analytics gives us everything, guys. It sounds kind of creepy, right? It does sound kind of creepy, but actually, they can give us everything. Check out on technology, guys. I am clicking on technology. If I click on mobile, check this out. Google Analytics is also going to give me the devices. Wow, that's how creepy Google Analytics is. Look, I can see that the most traffic that I have is coming from Apple, or from an iPhone, basically. Then we have Hawaii, we have Samsung's, again, Hawaii, Xiaomi, Samsung's. I can actually see in what device are they coming from. Let me check out the overview. What do we have in overview? Oh, wow, this part is very, very, very interesting, guys. Look, in the overview on mobile, we are seeing the most traffic that I have on my website. Where are they coming from? Are they coming more from mobile? Or are they coming more from desktop? Or are they coming more from a tablet? This, in my perception, this is the correct way that Google Analytics, or you guys for your business, have to have the traffic. Everybody knows that right now in 2021, we use more cell phones, so we send more traffic in mobile. Many people or less people are coming out from desktop or are seeing us since a computer, and less coming out from tablets. If I pick, no, I can pick, I already saw devices. Okay, let me
There's
go to
a question
Geo.
from Sarah.
Oh,
Sarah.
Sarah has a lot of questions.
It's great.
I like that.
Yeah. She's asking, do they get info by surveys or do they spy on you?
What do you guess, Sarah? I think there's both. It's not like they're spying you, but Google Analytics, when you have like that connection with your website, that's the information that you can have. But more than spying you or something, is for you to have all the information for your customers. And if you're doing Google Ads campaigns, if you want to work very good and on social media strategies, you have to have that information. You definitely have to have it, because that is going to give you like the tools and everything that you need to make a strong marketing or digital marketing strategy. Is there another question? Okay.
Yeah, there's one more. How would these statistics help the business?
Yeah, of course. Like, for example, in this part that we are seeing that some of the majority of the people are coming from mobile, you can actually work on your website or on your landing for they can have like a very good version on mobile. So they can scroll easier, so they can easier go to section, where they can have your social media too. I mean, contact us from WhatsApp, you can use my messenger from Facebook. Basically, you can take a lot of actions, and this information is gonna help the business a lot. How many time do I have? I have like 5 minutes. It's great. I wanna show you guys something. and I'm answering a little bit of the question of ella. Is it pronounced ella? How does check, guys? This is what I do basically every day, but I want to share it to you guys. I'm gonna take the 28th of July. I'm only gonna search what's happening yesterday because today is 29, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna see what's happening yesterday, and I'm gonna see what is happening on my social media. And this definitely is gonna work for your business. Let's go to acquisition. Let's go to campaigns, all campaigns. I want you guys to see the transactions on the posts. I don't know, guys, if you have seen, you have entered maybe to a store on Facebook store. How do you call this?
The marketplace?
The marketplace. Just a minute, guys. I want to show you this. Okay, guys, this is just a little an example of how Google Analytics is going to help you to measure your offers that is happening on social media, specifically on posts that you're or other content that you have on social media. I am seeing the results that I had yesterday. That was 28th of July. In the campaign, when you guys just post something, we know that we have like a text. Let me see if I can enter to a fan page and I can show you guys. I'm gonna go to the fan page of USA, because I want you guys to understand this. Check it out. This is my Facebook page or my fan page, basically. And you guys can see right here on my screen. Let's wait the platform to charge. Okay. Obviously, this text is in Spanish, guys, don't worry. But what I want you guys to see is that here it has a link, you know, like apply here or help us with your data information here. And this link is called a bit.ly, and this sends traffic to my landing page. Okay, this is the landing page of USA. If my user or my potential client is in here, this is a little form where they can leave us the information that we want, the career or the bachelor or his name, his email, and his phone number. When they click here on apply, you can see this information in analytics. So yesterday in this landing page, for example, this is my campaign that is do USA. That is technically what Diana or Dennis explained yesterday, that it was excellent. We can see that yesterday I had 3 transactions. What does that mean? Is that 3 people in here leave their information, ready to be contacted, ready to buy our product, or ready to know a little bit more about our services. You can see the transactions in a term of marketing. It's called a lead. What is a lead? A lead is my client or a customer. Basically, that's a lead. But in the section of a transaction, I can see that there was 3 transactions. What does that mean? That there's 3 clients interested in my product or in my service. Basically, that is how you can see the numbers and the traffic, or maybe the results that is giving you the strategy of social media. So guys, if you want to learn a little bit more about Google Analytics, actually I'm using a free account. You can create your own Google Analytics account. You can swim in the platform. You can know other sections, but there are also a Google Analytics Academy, where you can, if you want to be an expert on this platform and know more, if your business, you're gonna do Google campaigns, Facebook ad contents, Facebook ads, If you're going to have a strategy on social media, but you also want to know, I know that Facebook is giving you the information too. Facebook is going to give us the statistics, but analytics is going to give you the transactions. There are the number of clients that you are generating in each one of your content. Okay, so it's really easy. You just have to type Google Analytics and you're going to be able to create your account. I recommend you guys to do it. It's not difficult. There's many tutorials in Google Analytics and as well, like I was telling you, the Google Analytics Academy, basically. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this session. I really hope that this information or this knowledge will be useful for you guys. I know that this is a really a scribe, a special scribe, or I know that we say it so fast, but like I was telling you, digital marketing or in the digital marketing world, everything has to be measurable and we have to have numbers. We have to have statistics of what is happening to with our customers, basically. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks